It's back. Yes, it's back. Oh yes, it is back. It's fixed. Star Wars is fixed, and I could actually get on with this whole thing. Man, I missed it. I mean, I liked Overwatch, but I just liked playing this a lot more right now. Like, I was really into this. I'm so glad. Yes. So, back to what I was saying before. Where was I? So,
What's the plan?
the plan, go in and kill. So, from what I said last time, I was reading a few books, like I talked about WTF with Mark Maron and all that. And I said that he was an interesting guy. And another book which I actually read was,
That's trunking. Getting lost.
I forgot which other book. Let me think. So much shit is going on. Damn it, I forgot which book. Let me see. Crap, I forgot. Oh man, I can't remember which book I read. I remember there were good books. Boy Meets Boy, I remember reading. Oh, right now I'm partway reading The Wolf of Wall Street. I didn't know it was actually based on a book until I went to the library like a week ago, and I'm like, wait, based on a book? I'm like, holy crap, I have to read it. And I read about a few pages, and then I actually ended up going to another book, which was called Final Girls, which I haven't finished reading yet, but I will finish. And that book is about a girl and two other girls being part of 3 separate massacres, and in each of these massacres they were the only survivors. And the reason that they were called Final Girls is because that was what the news calls them, and they actually had to reluctantly go away because the news kept following them and asking them things. The main character actually had a blackout and doesn't really remember what happened during the massacre, although occasionally some things start flashing back. And it actually is broken up into 2 parts. One is like the massacre which happens with her friends, and like what happens before that point, and the other is after the massacre, like the main character having to cope with what happened, like the death of her friends. And it's actually a really interesting read. And then like right now, like everything would be fine at first. Like she has to take Xanax to like cope with what happened to her. And it's actually a really interesting read. She has to cope with it, and she also has to see this officer, this ex-Marine. Well, he's built like an ex-Marine, but you know. And one day he comes up to her and says, one of the survivors, one of the 3 final girls, is found dead. Like, apparently suicide. And she's freaking out, and then the 3rd final girl finds her because she's been reclusive for a long time, to the point where she actually has to be under another name because she wants to keep her identity like a secret. At one point, she was supposed to be
I'm ready
with
to go.
the other two final girls, but the main during an Oprah interview, what happened was like the main character had a blackout. She kind of had a mental breakdown, destroyed her house. Like her mom was there, she destroyed a lot of things, and so the Oprah interview was canceled. And so that was like one of the only times that could have been when the reclusive girl, her name is Sam,
Let's fight the rebels.
she would have actually been seen again outside of a high school photo. But because of that, that interview ended up not happening, and then she reappears after the other final girl died in her life, and she's kind of like not really all there because, like, of course, being part of a murder kind of screws you up a lot. Well, not kind of, but will. And it wasn't, and it's actually very interesting because, like, the main character has like is kind of kleptomaniac now. Like she's just near the end of the beginning of the book, she's stealing a phone from somebody. And then when Sam comes along, she is actually like continually assisting her into stealing things like earrings and all that. And yeah, it's actually a very interesting read. I just found out about that book a couple of days ago on Goodreads.com because it was one of the runners-up for the best horror book. I think like yeah, it was one of the runners-up. Actually, it was in second place by Goodreads users. And that's what made me want to get it because it sounded interesting. And the book that actually ended up being the top horror picture was the new Stephen King book with his son Owen King called Sleeping Beauties, which I love Stephen King, but I don't know if I would. I don't want to read it right now. Not the moment. But like again, I like Stephen King. But here's the thing, I actually I think a couple of weeks ago I finished the door stopper called It because I actually wanted to read it again. I read it in 6 days. Like the book is 1,200 pages or 1,100 pages, and I read it in 6 days, like 300 pages a day. And it was my second time reading it ever. Like I read it last year. And both times they were very interesting, although there was that one scene everybody knows. Everybody, if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. That one disturbing scene. It disturbed me a lot. It's actually really disturbing. Like, it's unnecessary. I'm glad the movie, the miniseries, and the new movie didn't include that scene, because quite frankly, I remember reading it for the first time when I was at work. Like, it was near my end of my shift, and ooh, we won, nice. It was near the end of my shift, and I was reading it at the punch clock. I was reading that part, and I was like, oh my god, this is really disturbing. Oh my goodness. And for anyone who's read the book, or at least like, no, not even at least, like, you have to read the whole thing, even though it's a freaking doorstopper, 1,000 pages long. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it's a doorstopper, but it's a fine book. It's actually really it's like psychological. Like, there's some obvious symbolism there. Oh, it's not obvious, but you know, killer clown gets out some of your worst fears. That's kind of symbolic. I'm in 8th place. Oh man, that sucks. I'm in 8th place right now. And that book, a doorstopper, yes, but it's actually a really decent read. Yeah, there are some things that could be cut out, but you know, it's pretty thrilling up until, you know, the part everybody, if you read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's pretty, it gets really squirmy, even the second time I read it. Oh my goodness. I never, I watched some of the miniseries. I mean, Tim Curry's great. It's just like, it's really melodramatic, and I keep hearing really good things about the new movie. And I'll eventually watch it. Eventually. Like, I didn't really want to see the movie, when it came out, because I wanted to get a refresher of the book, so I ended up just reading the book again. And, yeah. Again, the book is good. I'll eventually watch the movie, but back to Stephen King and the book. Stephen King and his son Owen came out with a book called Sleeping Beauties. I forgot what it's about. I remember, oh, okay, I'll read this eventually, because it's actually on Goodreads, Goodreads users' best horror book of the year. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll read it, but then I started looking at the runners-up, and I'm like, oh, this Final Girls book sounds very interesting. It's mostly, well, the reason I say that is because, like, the Stephen King book got like 50,000 votes, 50,000 votes, while what's it called? Final Girls ended up getting like it was pretty much what's it called? I don't know what's it called. It was a landslide. Like that, Final Girls only got like 20,000. I mean, it is a very decent book. It's a decent book so far. Like it's actually very. I don't think it's much of a horror book so far as much as a thriller. Like I think it pays a lot of homage to like what's it called? Slasher movies. Like it's pretty much like the massacre they're talking about is pretty much like a homage to like slasher movies and whatnot. And I actually do appreciate it. It's just like, it's more, I think the book is more thriller, not horror. And despite me enjoying it so far, it's just like I'm only on like page 100 something. So far, it's actually a very decent read. Like right now I'm reading like 2 books, that, The Wolf of Wall Street. There's a poetry book I'm reading, but I haven't finished. It's been like several months. But yeah, for those of you who are actually looking for a good horror book, I think you should just check out Final Girls. It's actually good so far. It's actually a really decent book so far. Yeah. Now, what else have I been reading? Shoot. Let's see, Wolf of Wall Street. I forgot. Like, I've been reading a few books, it's just that I forgot a lot. Because I've read, like, right now I've read about 210 books. I'm just figuring out which ones I've read already. Like, read this week. Oh, man. I mentioned Girl Man's Up last playthrough. A very good book about identity and how parents won't necessarily accept you, but they'll love you no matter what. Actually part of one of my favorite books. Oh, I forgot what else.
They forced us on the defensive.
Like,
we're lost.
Like I read books mostly at work, mostly on the bus. Actually, a lot on the bus. Like, because like I said during my Mass Effect playthrough, I am kind of an introvert. And I like it sometimes when plans get canceled because that means I get to recharge my batteries. Like, a typical day at work is like, let's see, I wake up, hold on. I end up waking up like really early in the morning, like at 9 or 8. Like, I hang around with my laptop and I figure out which books I want to take to work. And then I go to the library and see what's there, or either I pick out a book which I want to read, or I drop several books off. It's mostly both. Like, I keep telling myself, hey, alright Kareem, you're going to go to the library. For the love of God, just get this one book. One book, that's all you need, just one book. And I end up coming up with like 4 or 5, and it's actually really like, it's like, oh man, these books, like, they're getting out of hand. I don't have enough room. And so, like, typically I just go there, then I go to the bus. Like, I take the bus, then
Get back here, rebel!
I don't go after the library. I don't go straight to work. I'm really early, so I could actually have a lot of time for myself. So around like 11 something, I go to Tim Hortons and I sit down and I read for a little bit, because like honestly I just need that time alone before work. And it's actually really interesting and really it's very good for my health, because I just need to be alone sometimes, just me reading. And then 20 minutes before I leave, I have a medium hot chocolate, and then I just go to work. Like, I walk to work because it's in, within the coffee Tim Hortons, which is a coffee shop, which I found out that was American. I thought it was Canadian. Shows you what I know. And yeah, shows you what I know. And I usually just go ahead and after I have the hot chocolate, I just go within walking distance to work, and then you know, go to work, go to my locker and read for a couple of more hours, and then my shift starts like a little bit afterwards. And yeah, then work starts. Work ends up starting, and yeah. And on my break, I've been sitting on the same place for about 3 or 4 years. Ever since I started working, I've been sitting at the same place, and I just read because I need my energy. I just need to be alone, because that's the thing about introverts. Like, like introverts and extroverts. Like, introverts need to be alone to recharge, while extroverts actually get more energy by going, like, talking to people a lot. And that's what I have to do. Like, I have to be alone for 15 or half an hour, give or take, and I just read because I just need my brain to think. I just like need to think alone. And so, like, yeah. Oh, I got a reward. Nice. Where am I here? Oh, I'm in the bottom half. Yeah, so yeah, me reading is a lot. Apparently I read like a lot. I've been reading all my life. Like, this and reading, those are what dominates me. Although I read more books than I've spent more time reading books than playing video games. Mostly because of work, and I don't have time to play games because, again, work. But yeah, it's actually really decent. Like, I'm making money doing things like this. Like, used the money to buy an Xbox One and the games. I have a laptop to use my Twitch with. Yeah, and I'm actually really glad, like, being here, just talking about things. Sorry about that. Yeah. Great to know. And despite the the things you see in my videos, like the music video show or my movie reviews, I'm pretty much quiet, or I'm pretty much really quiet, unless I'm with my friends. In which case it's like, oh my god, this guy won't... I would go from, not shutting up, like keeping quiet, to not shutting up. Like, it's like Korean, stop talking, you're gonna get us killed.
Wipe out the clowns.
Wipe out the clowns? I mean... I don't know. Pennywise was not a good...
Discourse detected. Continue the attack.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, so, like I said, Girl Man's Up, a really good book. What else was there? There is another book called None of the Above, where it's about a young teenage girl who,
Calculation error.
finds out that
Acceptable.
she has testicles. She actually does have testicles, so she's not completely a girl. She's, I forgot, I don't want to offend anybody, I forgot, but I think, like, she's actually, she is a girl, it's just that she has testicles where her, like, she has testicles, like, inside, so she doesn't have, like, she's not a completely a woman, like, inside. Outside she is, but inside no. And it's her struggles to deal with it. She, like, there are people who, and all this, she does have a boyfriend, it's just that he doesn't really understand. And it's actually a really very interesting book, and it actually did make me choke. Like, I'll be honest, I was uncomfortable at first, so I actually had to put it, the book aside for a little bit, because I was actually really concerned. Like, I was really uncomfortable with what's going to happen. Like, there was a part where, like, it was homecoming, and she was like, she actually had sex. She actually ended up having sex with her boyfriend. But she didn't, it was uncomfortable for her. So she ended up going to the doctor, and he told her that she actually had testicles inside her. And this ended up, like, making me so uncomfortable for her that I actually had to stop reading the book and read something else. And then later on, I ended up finishing it, and I thought it was actually very interesting. Like, there are people who, kind of like her boyfriend. I don't want to say anything, but like, eventually she actually finds a group that is just like her, and they're helping her through this. And I thought that was actually a very decent way of handling the situation. Like, yeah, you're gonna have people who rather not understand what you're going through, but at the same time, there are people who are gonna be there for you. And I actually found that to be a decent, I found that to be a really decent way to handle any situation. Like, you're not alone. Like, it's gonna be okay, and you can survive. I didn't see that coming. The gunshot, I mean. And it's again, the book is called None of the Above. Like, I again got uncomfortable at first, but then I slowly, like, okay, this is actually a really good book. I really enjoy it. Like,
Republic resources have been reduced by half.
yeah. Part of me wants to read it again, but yeah. Like, people should read it. And actually, there is another book. Oh, you almost got me there. There is another book called Wyvern the Coin Book 1. And it's about a female who identifies as a boy, but nobody can understand her or him. I mean, and yeah, it's her trials and tribulations at first, and then she gets transported into another world, where, like, it's pretty much like dragons, except like they're called wyverns, and instead of using the pronoun him or she, it's whim. And those are what the dragons call, like, and they call the main character a he, because like it's like, yeah, it looks like a guy, but you know, she doesn't want anybody to know that she's actually a girl. And then she befriends a wyvern that's mischievous but will always be there with her. But in some respects, some of the wyverns aren't exactly like used to. Some of the wyverns are actually like hated upon because some could fly. And her wyvern friend is actually like part of that species who don't like who aren't well liked, and I find that to be very interesting, to be honest. And it's her struggles, and her job, like her main goal is to like find a way back home and all that. Like, I really want to read the book again. Again, it's called Wyvern the Coin Book 1. It's not actually at the library, but it was at a bookshop, a bookshop called Glad Day, which has a lot of books that proceed to the LGBT community. I actually found out about it during Pride Day. When I was at a Pride Day at Toronto, me and my friend went to go in Toronto to see what was going on, and we came across that bookstore, and I'm like, okay, we're not gonna go there right now, but we're gonna go another time. And one other time we actually ended up going, and I saw that book, and I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. And yeah, it's actually a pretty good, cool book. Like, I got through the first few chapters when I was there once, and yeah, it's actually pretty. I'm like, oh my god, this is actually pretty decent. To the point where I ended up getting distracted so much reading the book that my friend actually told me to put it down. And so, not that time, but the next time I went, I ended up buying the book, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Taught eaches and how people could actually lead to exclusion, and it hurts. And I guess that's what relates to me sometimes. Oh, 10 eliminations. How low of the scoreboard did I get to? Second worst person on the team. Worst person on the team. Yeah, that's fine. That yeah. But yeah. Wyvern the Coin Book 1. A really good book. Damn, I want to read that book again. Because it shows, like, no matter where you are, you're not so different from someone. So yeah. What else did I read? Like, at least last week. I'm gonna check my Goodreads account. Sorry, I'm burping. Again, 10 eliminations, that's fine. Boy meets boy, yeah, I got that. Yeah, this year I wanted to read at least 150 books. I ended up reading 210. Whoops. Huh. 210. 210 books. And going on Goodreads.com actually caused me to like get into a lot more books, like other than horror. Oh yeah, I read the Misadventures of Cameron Post, which I'm surprised. Like I read the summary, but I was surprised that it took place in the 90s. And it's about this girl who kissed her best friend one point, and after that happens, her parents die in a car crash. They died because they crashed into a few gates, like a gate or something. Not something. It was actually a gate, and she ends up having to stay with her aunt and her grandma. And she's of course she's confused about her feelings toward her friend who she's not gonna see anymore. Where was I? Her friend that she's not gonna see anymore.
Pushing us into a corner. Push back.
And then one day she comes across this new girl who is like a very sweet, a very caring friend, and she herself has very confused feelings in terms of like what's going on with her sexually. And it just goes like, I'm not gonna tell you what happens, but it actually is a decent book. It's called The Misadventures of Cameron Post. Yeah, I don't have much to say, although it's, again, a decent book. Very decent. No, it's actually a really good book. It's just that, like, man, I've been reading a lot of LGBT books lately. I mean, that's a good thing, because it actually makes me go ahead and figure out what's going on. Like, not what's going on, like, body-wise, but how it's being written. Because there are books that I'm pretty aware that there are books that are written for the LGBT crowd, but they're not good. And I appreciate a good book that actually shows concern about like the trials and tribulations of what it means to be out. Not trials, like like what happens when you're out, like who's your friend who will respect you, who will love you. And everybody has that, everyone can relate to that. Oh man, I thought I actually got the smoke bomb right. Yeah. I mean, I want to get into a lot more books, but I have a lot of books that I bought like 6 months ago that I still haven't begun to read. Actually, another book which I've actually read recently was Travis Barker's biography. And I got that because I recently kind of got into Blink-182. Although I'm kind of more of a Radiohead guy, but I got into Blink-182 because, well, I've been like a casual fan of Blink-182. It's just that like it was there. Like I knew a couple of the songs because of a few friends. But you know, it's like whatever. And then one day I found like I got into it because of two people actually. I got into them because of two people. Alan Cross, who recently, Alan Cross is a person who does a radio show called Ongoing History of New Music. And he talks about like the musicianships, the music of people, and how did I miss all that? He talks about what happens in music, like the biography of musicians, like music topics like the last hours of who died, the rise and fall of people, and actually, speaking of rise and fall, he actually does a podcast called Ongoing History of New Music, which it would be online, but what happened was because of certain problems with copyright, he doesn't have that copyright for songs anymore, so he actually ended up having to like squeeze the episodes down whenever he has to archive them. So there's only like 15 seconds of snippet of songs, and then he keeps talking, which is actually very okay with me. This is actually even better for me because it's like, hey, guess what? I get to I hear snippets of music, which I'll listen to later, but I want to listen to him talk about these things. And I get to listen to them any time I want. And recently, like at the beginning of this year, he actually edited down his podcast, made it a podcast, and the only way he could get around with it is just like putting like 15 seconds of songs 15 seconds of a song on each episode whenever there's a song has to play. And so one of the episodes, the first 3 episodes he did was about the rise and fall of Blink-182, and and it was a 3-part episode. So it talked about like the beginnings of like how Tom and Mark got into like the bands with a guy named Scott. Like a lot of people don't know, like Travis wasn't always part of Blink-182. It was a guy named Scott Rayner who was originally the drummer. And what happened was like things happened, and Scott had to go home for a family emergency, and so one day the band was like, hey, our drummer left, can we borrow yours? And so the Aquabats got a guy named Travis Barker, and he just tore up the place, and he's like, okay, you know what, Scott's gone, so we're gonna have him join the band. Although eventually he'd be like, at first Travis wasn't actually an official member, but he got to be an official member, like I think it was, I forgot it, not Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, not that. It was the album before that. Crap, I forgot. Yeah, it was the album before. Hey, we won. It was the album before that, and what happened was he became an official member, and that's how we got it today. And anyway, the rise and fall, you know, how they rose up and then how they broke up because of infighting. Then Travis Barker got into that plane crash, and yeah, got into a plane crash, and then they got back together only to implode because Tom wanted to do other things, and then he was replaced by Matt Skiba, who gets a bad rap. Oh my god, that's awful. Everybody else does better than me. And he, again, Matt Skiba gets a bad rap. Like, I mean, he's no Tom DeLonge, but, you know, Matt Skiba can sing. Because, like, I'm going to say something a bit controversial. I like Blink-182, but I don't like all the small things. Because Tom's vocals they annoy the crap out of me. Even back when I was a casual Blink-182 fan, like, I never liked all the small things. I was actually more into What's My Age Again, because Mark's vocal, like, all the small things have decent instrumentation. Not great, but decent. But Tom's vocals just kill me, which is saying something because I like What's My Age Again because the instrumentation is actually really, really good, and I really like Mark's laid back vocals. Like, it's already on, it's on a Friday night, I won't alone, I get the feeling. Like, I like that. I like his laid back vocals in that a lot more than I do with all the small things. And I'm like, he kept me roses, but and I'm like, that irritates me. That irritates me so much. And so, like, yeah. So Alan Cross actually got me into Blink-182. But the other person who got me into Blink-182 was the Rock Critic, aka Crash Thompson, aka the Rock Critic, who actually got me into buying not only California, but he also got me into buying the Untitled album, which is which is their best album in my opinion. And I don't know why people give crap about California, because it's actually a throwback. It's actually something that the band wanted to do, like a few joke songs here and there, like decent instrumentation. Like there's a sense of fun in California that was lacking in their last album, Neighborhood. And actually, like, I really liked California. I almost said Californication. Like, Californication is my second favorite album ever. It's my favorite Chili Pepper album ever. My favorite album ever is Chaos's what's it called? Chaos's Joyful Rebellion. And I like but I do really like the Untitled album, because it actually shows like growth in terms of Blink-182, as opposed to like the jokey people that everybody thinks they are. But they they do have a sense of humor. It's just that they wanted to mature. Like, you know what happens if you don't mature and you do the same thing over and over again? You get Simple Plan. Like, you can be funny, but at the same time you have to show growth. Like, Simple Plan doesn't show growth. Well, their Untitled album, they actually showed growth, but then after that, they just regressed to the point where they become children. Like, they actually ended up, like, getting worse. They actually got less mature as time went on, because they're whining about things even though they're hitting 40. They're 40 years old and they're talking about, like, teenage things that nobody really cares about anymore. I mean, people do care about, but it's like, whatever. It's like, dude, at least, like, talk about real life problems like student loans, like, joke about student loans or something. Don't talk about, like, stupid things like how people don't understand you. Like, we all had that, but we all had to grow out of it because we have, you know, life gets in the way. We have girlfriends, we have boyfriends, we actually fall in love, you know, regular schmegular things.
Rapid execution.
You know, not just complaining and moaning and whining all the time. That's what Blink-182 did. I mean, like, you know, the Untitled album was great, but it was mature enough. That's as mature as they were. Neighborhood went a little too far because, like, there was no sense of humor. I mean, the Untitled album had no sense of humor either, but, like, Neighborhoods was just like, it had it wasn't so bad as a sense of humor. It was just more along the lines of, like, hey, we're just gonna do like a bunch of things. We're just gonna hijack it to sound like not a Blink-182 album. Like, that's pretty much like the problem with a lot of people's problems with Neighborhoods, because it didn't sound like Blink-182. It sounded like Angels on Airwaves disguised as Blink-182, which the Rock Critic actually said, but, you know, that's him. And that's why I do like California, because it shows that they have a sense of humor, and it shows that they can come back with their pop punk attitude. still be and yet they're still mature. People are like, oh, by the way, like California sucks because it's not like the Untitled album. It's like, so you can't if it's still like the you remember what happened the last time we had an Untitled album? It was called Neighborhoods, and I'm pretty sure not a lot of people liked that album. Like I did like Up All Night and After Midnight, kinda. I liked Up All Night a lot better, but After Midnight I liked. But other than that, the instrumentation is like Angels and Airwaves quality, and I'm not a big fan of Angels and Airwaves. I never was. But you know, whatever. To each his own. But anyway, whatever. Like I'm more Blink-182, and so again, Rock Critic actually got me into buying 2 albums from them, the Untitled one and California. Both really great albums, like seriously really good albums. You should check them out. Especially well, that and apparently Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. But after all that, like yeah, again, Alan Cross and Crash Thompson, aka The Rock Critic, got me into it a lot. Like Blink-182 again a lot. And yeah. So I was reading Travis Barker's biography. And yeah, it's actually a really decent book. Man, I'm just dying out here. It's a really decent book. He talks about like how drumming is his passion because like he's always wanted to be a drummer ever since like Animal. He saw Animal on, I think it was the Muppets or Sesame Street. I don't know which. One of the Muppet shows. And he's like, I wanted to be like that. And it's actually really heartwarming to see like him drumming, because when his mom died, one of the things that stuck with him was like, whatever you do, don't stop drumming. And that's actually, every time you see, after seeing that, after reading about that, it's like, okay, that's a great passion. That's actually a really like interesting thing. Just doing it for his mom, who's no longer part of this world. It's like, you know what? You do you. Like, that's why you're such an awesome drummer. Like, and it's not easy, because, like, apparently he has a regiment training. Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. He spawn killed me. And, like, he has a regimen of, like, training his practicing his ass off, drumming before every show. Like I didn't know this, but he actually had a drug addiction, like to pills and whatever. And he has, I can't say pot is an addiction, but he kept smoking it and whatnot. And I didn't know that much about him. And it's like, oh my god, this guy actually had some demons. I thought his only demon was like the plane crash thing. And that shows how much of a determinator he is, because like he was told that he wasn't gonna survive, like at all. Like he was never gonna play the drums again, and then through sheer force, he ended up doing it. That takes amazement. Like that's amazing to me. And so yeah. Yeah, so Travis Barker biography, really decent. Like, he pours his heart out. Like, even though he's known as the quietest Blink member, like his drumming actually says more than 1,000 words. And I know Blink is flawed; they are flawed. But you know, they're pretty decent musicians. Even Tom, despite I don't like his voice that much. In fact, I can't really listen to I Miss You, his vocals in I Miss You that much without like cringing. Because like at first Mark's vocals are like very soothing. And he's like, hello there, I hear you from my nightmare. And like that's very soothing. And then all of a sudden, where are you? I am so sorry. And I'm like, oh my god, just let Mark sing it. Just like let Mark sing it. Just let him soothe me, like serenade me, just soothe me. It's like, Oh, that sounds so nice, Mark. Tom, what the hell are you doing? And yeah, I mean, nothing against Tom. He's a very good guitarist. It's just that his vocals just annoy the crap out of me sometimes, you know. And it's yeah, it's pretty not great. Although Tom is doing very decent with the whole alien thing. Like, if you guys don't know, Tom DeLonge is like doing like that alien thing that's going on about, like, recently he got on stage like somewhere and like talked about spaceships. I mean yeah, that's fine. That's something that's pretty decent for him. Like, if he was in Blink-182 for any longer, like, they would cease to exist again. So I could see why he got kicked out, or he left, or whatever the story is. I don't care, as long as Blink is fine. Like, Matt Skiba is a pretty decent replacement. Although I just don't like it when Tom's like, "Oh, Matt Skiba is doing my job for me." It's like, well, you're a very vital part of this band, Tom. It's just that, you know, you're way too busy with all these things, you know? Just leave it alone. Like, leave everything, like, just leave them alone. Let them do what they need to do best.
Cover me. Moving on the
Just let them be. Let the band move on. And so yeah, he's moved on. The band has moved on. I'm like, from what I hear, they're talking again. You just don't say that you're doing a job. He's doing a job for you, because clearly, like, you're doing other things. Like, I understand, like, you will always be Blink, Tom. You will always be like part of Blink, but, you know, in spirit, you'll always be Blink. Like, you're more Blink than Scott Raynor, but you'll always be Blink. Like, Scott Raynor's not there anymore, though people don't really realize that Scott Raynor was a thing. Like, Scott Raynor was there before Travis. Like, Travis wasn't always in the band. He was the second drummer. I mean, granted, I didn't know that until Alan Cross told me, but, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's fine. Blink-182 is fine. And apparently Tom DeLonge is actually writing books about his alien thing, which I want to read out of morbid curiosity. Like, out of curiosity, I want to read. Just a little bit out of curiosity. I want to see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah. He actually did write a couple of books about, like, other things.
Let's go.
Like someone called Poet. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's pretty fine. Like, he's doing fine on his own. I'm glad he's doing okay right now.
I got your back.
Like, not really holding his bandmates back, but, you know, doing his own thing, let them do their own thing. It's actually really decent. Yeah.
I'm with you.
Like, a couple of weeks ago, I kept listening to the song Violence over and over again for like an hour or two. I was pretty upset for reasons I don't want to say right now, because I mentioned it on Twitter. I had a bit of a mini breakdown on Twitter like a couple of weeks ago, but, you know, it's gone. It's fine now. But I kept, after that mini breakdown, I ended up listening to Violence over and over again, which I always liked. I liked that song because it's so, like, different and so, like, interesting in terms of, like the style choices they made for, the instrumentation. Your violence, it kills me forever and after. And I really do like the live performances. Like, I know I dissed Tom DeLonge's voice, but I actually do think that his voice in the song actually helps it. Like, his voice isn't as annoying as it would be like in any other whiny Blink song. Like, all the small things. She left me roses by the chair. Ew, that's I just don't like that song at all. And yeah, I like Violence, although I've never actually said this before, but the last song, the last track on the album, I'm Lost Without You, actually kind of nerves-wracks me a little bit. Like, the final drum, like the drumming in that song, like the last 45 seconds actually gets me nerve-wracked. Like, listening to it on CD, I'm like, my heart's like pounding for some reason. Why? Like, for some reason my heart is pounding out of my chest, and I don't know why. And yeah, I really do like that song. I like that whole album. And I'm talking a lot about the Untitled album, but I really do like California. Like, I don't know why people don't like No Future. I like No Future. And also like the first song, Cynical, which is energy. Like, that's what you get out of that album at first. So much energy. There's so much energy. Like, the whole album has energy. And that's what I love about Blink. Like, that's what I like. There's so much energy abound in that album, especially with Cynical. Like, the drumming is beast. And Matt Skiba and Mark's vocals are amazing together.
They've taken the advantage.
However, there are some songs Matt Skiba sings that used to be Tom's that shouldn't be sang. Like, what's Tom's vocals should be just Tom's. Like, leave it alone. Like, Violence, Matt Skiba shouldn't, like, sing it. Like, it's not because he's bad, it's just that, you know, it's way too different and it's way too, like, out of tune sometimes. Like, some of the live performances I hear aren't that great, and I listen to some of them, and it's like, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, just give them, like, they're beginning. The album came out last year, so it's fine. Just give it a while. But I haven't listened to Take Off Your Pants and Jacket yet. I heard that's really good. Like, that's where they quote-unquote grew the beard. Like, got better as musicians. And I'm implied to agree. Kill us. Na 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 na. You don't know a thing about it. I was lost and don't swear. I don't care about you. Na 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 na. Like, that is an amazing song. And I love Bored to Death. I wanna see some naked dudes. That's why I built this pool. Not really it. Yeah. But I had to stop, like, For me, I've been listening to a lot of Radiohead. A lot. Like, it's mostly been like later Radiohead, you know, like not guitar Radiohead, like synthetic, like Kid A, and then afterwards, like, yeah, I'm a Radiohead guy. I like Blink, but Radiohead's been there for me for a long time. Like the first album I bought from Radiohead was OK Computer. Oh, we were so close. Like the first song, like I bought that album when I was in my second year of college. Like one day I decided to buy a CD. It was either gonna be OK Computer or it was gonna be what's it called? OK Computer or Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. So I ended up just going on YouTube and listening to the first song out of each album. And the Alanis Morissette one was actually really good, but then I got really into Airbag by Radiohead. I'm like, I'm getting that album. I'm getting this album just by the opening track alone. And then I ended up later on just buying two other albums as well, like that, Gorillaz' Plastic Beach, and Nirvana's Nevermind. Wow, look at that. 15 kills? That's 15 kills, 13 deaths, 4,000 points. I'm actually getting a little bit better just by talking. So if any of you have anything to say, like type it down, like ask me any questions on, like type it down on the, what's it called, on the Twitch chat. Just say hi, because I'm just going to keep talking until it's time to go, which is going to be in 3 or 4 hours, I don't know. I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow. But anyway, Radiohead. It's actually kind of interesting because what happened was I thought I was going to get the Radiohead. Like, the first song I ever listened to by Radiohead was not Creep. It was Just. It was the song Just. Because I remember one day, like, there was a show called Back In, which is a Much Music mini documentary that was 20 episodes, which documented a year between 1980 and 1999, and each episode looked at a year between them, and like talked about the fashions, the fads, like the movies that came out that year, who was born in that year, who died in that year, and throughout each episode they counted top 5 best and worst videos, and one of them was Radiohead's Just, and that actually kind of got me into it because I wanted to see what was going to happen in that video. I'm like, okay, this is actually a really good song actually, and it was one of the first songs I have ever downloaded to my MP3 when I first got it. Like the first of 7 songs I've ever listened to. It was the first CD I downloaded. Quick Strike, that's nice. Be the first one to do. Hey, I got an achievement. It was the first of 7 songs I ever put onto an MP3. Let me see. Gnarls Barkley's Go Go Gadget Gospel was the very first, and Radiohead, Just, 7 Nations Army by White Stripes. That's 3. The Roots, Don't Say Nothing. Roots, Don't Say Nothing. That's 4. Cripes. Gorillaz, Clint Eastwood. I said the Roots, Don't Say Nothing. And Sam Roberts band, The Gate. Man, I forgot about there's a 7th one I forgot. I know there's a seventh one. All right. I'll figure it out later. But anyway, in terms of Radiohead, when I bought OK Computer, I thought I was gonna get some like an album that was actually like more like guitar heavy. It turns out it was actually a lot more electronic and quieter than that. And actually, it was actually pretty. Like the first time it threw me off, and the second time and I actually really liked it, and the third time I couldn't stop listening to it. And so like I listened to that during my first year of college, no, my second year of college, and I actually really enjoyed it. But then I forgot about it because, you know, other albums I eventually just decided to buy. And then I, like a couple of years ago, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna get Radiohead's the Bends album, and I thought I was gonna get like, it turned out like the Bends ended up being exactly how I thought OK Computer was supposed to be like. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so not used to Radiohead using guitars. Even though the first song I ever listened to actually featured them having a lot of guitars in their songs. And like I really like it threw me off, but I still liked it at the same time. Still trying to figure out the seventh song. So it was Go Go Gadget Gospel. Oh wait, the seventh song was actually Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. That was it. Those are the 7 songs I actually ever downloaded to an MP3. Ever downloaded. Well, not actually. Go Go Gadget Gospel wasn't downloaded as much, like ripped out of one of my CDs. Oh man, I was so close to killing him. Like, it was actually ripped out of a CD which I have by Gnarls Barkley, which is CeeLo singing, and then a producer named Danger Mouse producing, which actually really gets me because it's like, oh, it's one guy. It's like, no, it's 2 people. That's what really gets me. It's like, no, it's like, and people only know Gnarls Barkley for Crazy, but they're so much better than that, because Crazy might be their worst, in my opinion, might not be their best song. In fact, I like everything else better than Crazy, everything else they've done. Like, the rest of the album that Crazy came out of, which was Saint Elsewhere, is better than Crazy. And then the next album, The Odd Couple, which nobody actually ever heard of, is actually way better than you think it is. It's actually, I love that album so much. Like, it's pretty much neo-soul. It's like hip-hop, but it's more neo-soul, and it's actually really interesting to listen to. Because it changes genres, but at the same time, it's like, it's still true to, it sounds like a true sequel to Saint Elsewhere. And I really do enjoy that. Oh, I got a kill assist. I beat the game. Ouch. And wow, I was talking about Radiohead. Like, Gnarls Barkley is a great couple of musicians. You should just watch, like, listen to them, and they're really a good couple of musicians. Like, they know what they're doing. I hope they come up with a 3rd album, because I've been waiting a long time, man. I'm waiting a long time for another album by them. Radiohead. Yeah, I was shocked to hear the Bends for the first time, and I figure out that they are using guitars. I mean, that's genuinely like shocking to me, because I'm so used, like, again, Just was the first song I ever heard by them, and like, man, like, they like to jerk me around in the best way. And so, like, let me see. The next album I bought after that was In Rainbows, which threw me off a lot for some reason. Like, how light it was, like, in terms of like listening value how light the album sounded, like compared to OK Computer and the Bends. And then I listened to Kid A. Ow, I didn't see him there. I ended up listening to Kid A, which I'm like, this is totally fine. Like, it was the only album at that point where I'm like, yeah, I could see. Wow, this is a landslide. We are losing like a whole bunch. Like, oh, damn. Yeah. Kid A, after listening to OK Computer, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I could see where they're coming from in terms of like evolving their sound. So you know what? I can't be jarred by this. And then here's the thing. Out of all the CDs I've ever bought, that and the next album I ended up buying by them, Amnesia, was the only album I bought. Was like, those two are the albums I ever bought where I didn't listen to a song by them, by anyone, like no singles at all. I just bought them blind. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And they're really decent albums. Like, actually, not Kid A, but Amnesiac actually jarred me a lot more because of the changes in genres that ended up happening in every track. Like, it just shifted tones. Wow, 3,000. Let's see how bad I did. I did decent. I did fine. I just needed to talk a little bit. Like, every track off of Amnesiac and The King of Limbs is like a completely different genre. Well, if you listen to Kid A, Amnesiac, and The King of Limbs, and just put them all together and shuffle them up, you get a lot of like interesting ideas. Well, out of the three of them, The King of Limbs may be the weakest because like it's not very consistent and it's very jangly and jumpy most of the time. Like, it blends different, like Kid A was more electronic based, Amnesiac is more like jazzy, classical music, like blending classical music and like other genres and putting them into a different track. Like, one track is like piano based, another is like jazzy, another is like what was it called? Krautrock, apparently. Another one is just pure southern rock, or pure darker rock with a shift in guitars.
We'll stick together.
And another is like electronica. And then come King of Limbs, it's like, oh my god. Like, they're doing their own version of dubstep, which is decent. It's just that it's the weakest one. But if you put those three albums together and then shuffle the track listing like together, it's pretty herky-jerky in terms of like the tones. Because the tone is all over the place in terms of like, oh man, like, I do like The King of Limbs. It's just that it's my second least favorite Radiohead album. Like, my least favorite is Pablo Honey, mostly because it's like Radiohead's answer to grunge. And I'm glad like they came up with the bends, despite me saying like it's jarring to hear them use guitars, because they haven't used guitars in a long while. It's like, when are you using guitars again? Like, oh, whatever, just let them do their own thing. And I like it. I like the last album, A Moon-Shaped Pool, is like, there's not much guitars, but it's more classical music, and it's a more softer tone. And I'm like, oh, like, apparently it's like both dark and it has a softer tone to it. Like, there's a lot more mellow guitars, and like it focuses on more like piano-based, like instrumentational orchestra. And I really do enjoy that album. Very like, it's actually really good. Anyway, The King of Limbs is my second least favorite album by them. Pablo Honey is my least favorite. As all like Radiohead people would say, it's their least favorite. A lot of people who like Radiohead say that Pablo Honey is the least favorite. My goodness, really? But my third least favorite is Hail to the Thief, mostly because like it's I barely remember a lot of it, some of it, because well, it's too long. Like I know it's like that's a common complaint, but there's too many songs and like I can barely get through it. Like I have to skip songs like what was it called? It was the I forgot what it was called, honestly. Damn it, it was a song that annoyed me. I forgot what it was called. Are you listening? Dun, 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 dun. Are you listening? That song, I do not like that. I don't like that song at all. Like, that's the problem. Like, there's too many, like, variables in Hail to the Thief. Like, I get it. It's a very political album. But at the same time, like, you could cut it, like, 4 songs at least. And, it'll be fine. It would be fine. Like, I like how it's more... It brings back the guitars and it's more electronic based too. But at the same time, I'm really like, it's like, oh wow, he came out of nowhere. At the same time, yeah, you could cut out some of the songs, and it's like, well, just, you know, you could make it a lot shorter and it would be fine. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, you can make a song long. You could actually make it a little bit longer. It's like, no. I learned my lesson after Alice in Chains' Devil Put Dinosaurs here. Which somehow I managed to get through several times when I first got that album. When I got that album, I thought that was one of their greatest albums ever. And then, like, listening to it recently, I'm like, this album is so slow and it takes so long. When is it gonna end? And the album is 70-something minutes long. And I actually had to stop, like, listening to it because I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm so bored. Would you please just, like, end already? I don't know how I ended up listening to you, like, 7 times the first time I got you. It's like, just end already. You're wearing out your welcome. And at one point I actually did think like it was a better album than their last album, Black Gives Way to Blue, which is actually a really decent album, mostly because it's pretty short compared to Devil Put Dinosaurs here. What was I talking about? Radiohead. Like they're... What didn't I talk about? Yeah, I talked about them enough. Like, my favorite Radiohead album is Kid A. Like, I have all their albums. I've listened to all of them at least twice. My favorite Radiohead album is Kid A. And then tied for my second favorite is OK Computer and In Rainbows, because they have so much similar. Like, they're complete opposites, but at the same time, they have a lot in common. Like, one is really dark and like a bit like electronic based. The other is actually very lighthearted. Like it has dark moments. At the same time, it's like whatever. It has some dark moments, but it's like Like all Radiohead albums, they have dark moments. You know, whatever.
Infantry heading your way.
Ow. Yeah, so, you know, whatever. And, let me see, my other favorite album is A Moon-Shaped Pool. Because it's really, like, it's beautiful. That's it. That's how I just figured. It's beautiful. And, like, it's luscious. Like, it's depressing as hell sometimes, but it's... Yeah. You should totally just check that album out. Oh yeah, all this from talking about Travis Barker's book. How the hell did I get through that? And what the hell am I using? Why am I Chewbacca? I don't want to be Chewbacca. I want to be an assault.
We'll stick together.
I should. That wasn't how it came out, but you know what I meant. You know what I meant. I wanted to be a gunman, a man. Chewbacca's a man, but you know what? I want to be human. Man, what was I talking? What was I talking? I want to be a guy named Hugh, man. Woman, human. Up. Alright, we lost, but you know what? We're not going down without a fight. Oh, I guess the battle's over. What was it called? The only album I like from Radiohead is Radiohead's Pablo Honey is Ripcord. Like that, like Creep. I didn't hear Creep until later on. Like a year after I heard of Radiohead. And I used to like that song. But then my dad got my sister a Rock Band and they kept playing it over and over again. I'm like, I could see why Radiohead doesn't like this song much anymore. And I'm like, yeah, that I know why they don't like it anymore. So it's like, yeah, you keep doing everything else to get away from that song, you know? So yeah, I understand why they actually had to move away from it. Like if you had to play it's like a one-hit wonder. You have like better songs, but people want to know you from that one song, like Blind Melon. Like Blind Melon, everybody knows them for that B-Girl video and which is called No Rain. But actually I know, like, I keep listening to them on the radio for that one song. And then I actually, when I was in high school, I explored them a little bit and ended up like I explored what they were, and I ended up going to like different areas of their career. Like I ended up like looking up their other album called Soup, which is a lot darker than their previous album. But what was the thing was, it's a lot darker, and the first song I heard from it was Galaxy. And I love that song because it actually takes a lot more risk. It sounds a lot less mellow than any of their other songs from their previous album. I'm like, this is actually pretty good. Like, it's very rough. It's like very dark. And it's a shame because the guy didn't get to do what he wanted. Like, if he had Shannon Hoon, his name, if he hadn't died, he would have. I'm pretty sure he would have had a pretty damn good solo career. He would have had a solo career. That's pretty much for sure. Because he had a pretty damn good, decent voice, singing voice. It's just that, you know, drugs and whatnot. And I know them, and I like them a lot better for their second album because that's when they took a lot more risks. And if you guys know, like, if you guys want to know more about Blind Melon, just there's a behind the music episode about them, and it for the most part it gets things right. The only problem it didn't get right was when the narrator is like, Kurt Cobain died in 1994, and that prompted Shannon Hoon to go to rehab, you know, in 1992. I'm like, what? That doesn't make a lick of sense. Like, not at all. Ooh, I got him. Yeah, that doesn't make a lick of sense, but everything else seems pretty legit. Like, I do like their music, but I mostly listen to their songs from their second album because I can't stand No Rain anymore because they keep playing it over and over again. It's like, at least play Tones of Home. Can you play Tones of Home at least? Or like Mouthful of Cavities? Play Mouthful of Cavities. I'm sure people will like that song because it's like acoustic guitar, very sweet sounding vocals from him and that other woman, I forgot her name. Allison something, I don't know, I forgot, but it's a very good song. Like, all this from like, what's it called? From Radiohead not liking Creep. But it's a very decent song. Just all you just have to do is like look for it at the right place. Like, if you really like a song from a band, like somebody considered a one-hit wonder, listen to a lot of their other songs. You'll be surprised. Like, I was surprised when I heard of a Blind Melon song that wasn't No Rain. Like, again, what was it called? No Rain was the first song I heard, and I got really interested a few years later. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna listen to more of their material. I'm just gonna keep listening to more of their material. So yeah, I ended up doing it, and I respect them a lot more, even though, like, they don't have the original lead singer anymore. Because, you know, he's dead. I don't know how he faked me out, even though he's dead, and they got another guy named Travis Warren. Is that his name? But I hear he's not that great. I think they released a new an album with him. Then he left, and he came back, and like, well, then just don't make it Blind Melon. Well, at least don't make it Blind Melon anymore. Just make it like another band, like a spin-off band, like Audio Slave did with Rage Against the Machine did with Audio Slave. Just make it a different band or something, you know? And in terms of Radiohead, I could see why they don't like Creep. I actually could see why a lot of one-hit wonders don't like their song anymore. Like, the Flock of Seagulls don't like I Ran anymore. I Ran So Far Away, because that's pretty much the song that they're best known for. I mean, it's a very decent song, but I'm pretty sure they have better hits. Like, you can't be musicians without having decent like decent songs in your disclosure, you know? That's like, I'm pretty sure if Beck wasn't, a lot of people only know Beck for the song Loser. It's like, no, he's better than that. Have you listened to Odelay? An album which I'm pretty sure I spent a lot of time looking for. Like, I spent a lot of time looking for that album. Like 3 years, and I didn't have any money, so I couldn't like find it online. So it's like, yeah. Wipe out the clowns? Okay. I like to wipe out the clowns with my ass. You managed to fake me out. Well, again, Beck's Odelay is a really good album. Like, the only problem I have with it is because I used to play music when I was playing video games, so playing that song over and over again while listening to that album and then playing Ride to Hell Retribution, yeah, That brought back memories. Yes, I'm in 4th. Oh my god. There I am. I'm in 4th. Holy crap. Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. I actually got up there. And I'm the best one on the team. I'm the best one. Holy crap. I'm actually the best one on the team. All because I was talking about things. Oh my god. That is amazing. Oh. Oh. I earned a Coke. This is my last Coke because I drank the other 2. But what was I saying? But yeah, I played the reason I played Rat to Hell Retribution back when it came out was because I heard it was one of the worst games of all time. And it was one of those seeing is believing things, so I actually ended up like buying an Xbox 360 just to play that game. And it is awful. Like I played Sonic 06 afterwards, but that is worse than Sonic 06. I used to work on Saturdays, Saturdays I used to work the morning shift, and like it's like oh my, and I had to wake up early to leave early, so I was like, oh my god, this is bad. This game is bad. And so like I got my friend to play it one day after I beat it, and he's like, after 15 minutes, he's like, I can't do it. I beat the game, but he's like, no, I can't do it. He said the same thing with Mass Effect Andromeda. He couldn't do it because like he just didn't get into the story. Like he just couldn't get into the story. I'm like, yeah, that's understandable, but like again, that's not a great game, but you know, it's fine. It's a fine game. It's disappointing to a lot of people because, well, it's disappointing because it's not a Mass Effect game that continues the story, but I think the original story, I think it's more of like a side quest. I think it's more like a game that was like a side quest, a glorified side quest. Like, I understand the hate, it's just that, you know, you just don't dismiss it like a terrible game like Ride to Hell. But anyway, Ride to Hell was garbage. It is so bad. Don't even play it as a curiosity. Play Sonic 06 as a curiosity. I prefer you somebody play Sonic 06 as a curiosity because at least it's big enough. At least it has like moments. At least it had its moments, like laughable as they are.
Let's go.
So yeah, at least there's that. My god. I played some bad games, but that was probably the worst game I've ever played. The worst game I've ever played.
Follow me, fast.
Ow, I blew up. Damn you. Oh, I got a kill assist. But yeah. My god. Where was I? Beck. I only have one of his albums, and that's Odelay. Which is actually a pretty... I haven't listened to anything else. I haven't bought anything else after that. But, you know... that whole thing where Kanye almost interrupted Beck at the Grammys... Yeah, that was a bit much. Like, and then he's rambling, hey, Beck should stop being, like, musicians, like... Stop like taking away from musicians and leave the awards for real musicians. Like, Beck is a real musician, dumbass. In fact, he actually got his own, like, he actually ended up like producing his album that he won the Grammy an album for out of his own pocket. Like, that's what he did. And then he's like, oh, the new musicians. He's like, yeah, but you want Beyonce to win? Like, that's pretty much the obvious move. Everybody like the Grammys are pretty much a glorified like dick contest to me. Like I don't care about the Grammys anymore because like they suck. They've always sucked. I know that's a thing, like that's not a popular thing to say or it's a hipster thing to say, but the Grammys always sucked. Let's be realistic, the Grammys always sucked. It's like, yeah, they did a lot, but it's like, I remember the last time I watched the Grammys, it was back when I played the end Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, the first Ratchet and Clank, and I was stuck on a level for 3 hours. Yeah, you think I was bad at Mass Effect that one time, or any other playthrough. That was pretty much the worst. That was bad. Yeah. Yeah, but again, the Grammys, whatever. Not a fan. Not a fan of the Grammys. But you know, whatever, to each his own. Yeah, so like, speaking of Kanye, I only have 2 of his albums. Well, I just ended up giving them to my dad because it's not, Kanye is not for me. Turns out Kanye is not for me. I had like his first 2 albums, and that was it. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, no, I'm good. That was me. Like, I tried to listen to his albums, but it's like, you know what, I'm good. Like, people are like, oh, but Graduation. I was like, yeah, if he didn't grab me for the first 2, he's not gonna grab me for now. He's not gonna grab me now. So yeah, it's like he's like, but what I understand is like, I do like some of the songs from 808s and Heartbreak, and what's it called? Yeezus. I do like Black Skinhead more, the instrumentation. My sister actually said I would actually like Yeezus because like, it's one of those albums that's very different, but at the same time, like, a lot of people don't like it, and I'm like, so he's doing something different and not many people like. Actually sounds like it's in my alley. So yeah, okay. Yeah, but I haven't listened to... whatever. I haven't listened to the albums I have by Kanye West more than once because I bought better albums before and I would buy better albums after. So it's like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I genuinely don't care. Yeah. My dad, but I don't know where they are. I don't know where those albums are. I care. Like, I know I like a couple of Kanye. I don't really care. So, yeah, there's that. But, yeah, again, to each his. What else? Read. Like, what else have I read? The Truth. I read The Porcupine of Truth, and it's about and then he's there. He meets this girl and gets kicked out of her house by her father because her father doesn't like her sexual preference, and it's like, you know, and it's usual a joke, like he's jokey and she's jokey, but there are some things where she can't joke because something to her. Eventually, he finds out like about his father. What's wrong with me? Like, it's currently story is him trying to find out where his father is and all that. There's that. A really good book. In your way, heartwarming. Oh my God, what's wrong with this?
They're taking the upper hand.
It's actually funny, heartwarming, and touching. It's bittersweet. It's clear. It's clearly bittersweet, but you know, you can't. They can't all have happy endings. They can't all have sad endings. But you know, whatever. Holy Christ! You know, they can't have all those kind of endings. Like, The Porcupine of Truth was also written by the guy who made Openly Straight, which is about a guy who is gay but is attracted to a guy who's actually conflicted about his sexual preference, but he doesn't want anyone to know. And then he finds a girlfriend. It's actually a really good. Books are really straight. It has a sequel. It's called, but it's from the point of the guy who is like the first one is the point of view of the gay person who is gay, and the sequel is from the point of view of somebody of the person who has a crush on him, still like unsure of himself. In the end, he realized not completely gay, but he's in love. He's only prefers just the one. Can't really tell you what his name is because it's been a long while. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on with this because what is this gun like? It was fun before. Again, like if you're in Toronto, there is like a store called Glad Day Books. It's in Toronto. I don't know the address because I'm one of those people who are like, hey, I know where this place is. I just don't know. I don't know how to get directions. I am so sorry. I can take you there, but you're gonna have to figure out the street names because I don't care. I know with street names. I just know the places. Like you can just Google map how it. You know, has like the bookstore has really decent and book. That's how I got the Wyvern wine book. Man, that was redundant. And I really the sequel. Really, if this says book, the second. God, what happened? And like figure out what's going on. Like leave the game. Because quite frankly, something's wrong. Like, I'm lagging like hell. Yeah. If you guys need like, book preferences, I get like because with the recommendation of books and books you read, it'll tell you what books you may or may not like, or mostly may like. But if you want, just tell me which books I can recommend. There was actually read recently. It was by Stephen King's son, Joe King, which shows that Stephen King is a pretty cruel dad. You name your son Joe King. Yeah, I see what you did there. Like Joe King. Oh, real funny, Dad. Real funny. Now people aren't gonna take me seriously. Now I'm gonna have to write books like The Fireman. Which I do like, by the way. What was it? I forgot which book I read by him recently. It was very recently. Shoot, I forgot which book it was. What was it? Damn it. What was the book? I forgot. Joe King. Like, it was a recent book, I'm pretty sure. Damn it, I forgot what the book was called. I really liked it too.
For the pride of our battalion, fight to the end.
I'll figure it out later. Just like I did with the 7th song I ever downloaded. or put on an MP3. Yeah, I'll figure it out eventually. Just give me time. Ooh, I got a kill assist. That's fine. Okay. Ow. Yeah. Oh yeah, Steve. I actually got sidetracked in terms of Stephen King. The other book that I read like last year was a book, The Doorstopper, another Doorstopper Stephen King book. The Stand. Holy crap, that may be longer than it. That is longer than it. Because oh my god, that took a long time. That felt like it took forever to read. That felt like it took forever to read. Like, I remember starting to read it at like when I was gonna watch Batman vs Superman, and it took like, yeah, it took 6 days to read. No, yeah, it took 6 days to read. It would have been 7, but there was the ending which actually got me kind of, like the last part of the book kind of like, I didn't want to read then, so I'm like, okay, I'll read another book. And this, there's a reason why there isn't a abridged version of The Stand, because it's way too long. I forgot a lot of it. I'll eventually reread it like I did with It. I'm just not gonna, like, not anytime soon. And this was last year. And speaking of Batman, like, I have, like, Batman vs Superman, oh my goodness. I gotta tell this story right now. Because speaking of The Stand and Batman vs Superman, oh. Worst on the team, huh? Alright, alright. So Batman vs Superman came out 2015 or 16, I think. Probably, no, 2015, I think. I forgot. Whenever it came out, like, it was during the time when I only had, like, I had 3 days off instead of 2 days off, because at the beginning of each year at my work, productivity tends to go down, and the shifts get canceled and whatnot. And then one day I looked at the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes of Batman vs Superman, and they were really low. And so I thought, no, that can't be right. That cannot be right. That can't be that comically low. So I'm just gonna go ahead and watch the movie on my next day off. And so but first I actually had to wake up in the morning and get new shoes at work, for work. So what happened was, I ended up, I planned the whole thing out. I was gonna get shoes at Mississauga, like at another part, not in the area I live in, but another part where they're gonna give me employee discount. So I was gonna go there, and I was gonna come back home. I was gonna stay home for like half an hour, and then go back to take one bus to the movie theater that was near me, and then watch the movie, and then come back home at about 3 p.m. And then my best friend, ended up like texting me. It's like, "What are you doing on your next day off?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go see Batman vs Superman," and she actually lives close to me as well. She lives close to me, and what happened was, she's like, I just have to take a bus to her house, and that was it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go see Batman vs Superman. And it's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Can we go to like way out of her way to go see this movie instead? Like, instead of just taking one bus, let's just take a couple of buses to go see this movie. You know, just to make it hard on ourselves. And they didn't want to, because like, we could just take one bus like to the movies, and that's it. That's all we had to do. And instead I ended up having to like go to the shoe store to get my shoes, and she's like, okay, I'll meet you at the movie theater. I'm like, but I have to, and she was actually getting very close to there, and it's like, so I have to carry these heavy shoes to the movie theater, and that just like really ticked me off, because all we had to do was just All I wanted to do was go to the movie theater in like near my house. That's it. That's all I had to do. All I wanted to do. That was it. And it's like, no, no. We're gonna go out of our way. We're gonna go out of our way to like go see this movie. And I was so pissed off because I actually had to go around with these heavy shoes. And I ended up having to see a garbage 2-hour movie, which was as bad as everybody said it was. And like this garbage movie, and then I actually had to go out with a couple of friends, these heavy shoes, back for like hours. And then like that's that. She is one of my best friends. Don't get me wrong. The few moments where I was genuinely pissed off. I was pissed off at that I actually wanted to go to work. Like I wanted to work this anger off because of what she did. Like go to the theater closest to us, but we ended up having to go to another theater for some reason. Like I didn't want to speak to her for a month. And yes, Batman vs Superman was shit. Wow, that was something. Batman vs Superman was garbage, and it took me about 2 or 3 months of working aggressively just to get that anger away. Because the thing about work is, I don't particularly like how I work. Like I don't hate or like my how I work. It gets me money. It's just that I just need that aggression. I just needed to work very hard to like get away from that like horrible feeling I had. And so yeah, that was fun. It like I eventually forgave her, but I told her like how it made me feel, and she was jokey, but at the same time it's like, yeah, she apologized eventually. Like that's pretty much the worst movie we ever saw. I mean, at that point, we saw The Green Hornet on my birthday. When I was in my first year of college. So it's like, yeah, Batman vs Superman is the worst movie we've seen together in the theaters. Although I haven't seen Justice League yet. But, yeah, the last movie we saw in theaters together was, what was it called? Not Guardians of the Galaxy, there was another Marvel movie. Damn it, I forgot. Damn it.
We're a team.
Thor Ragnarok, that was it. We watched Thor Ragnarok, and that's actually a really good movie. Well, compared to the other two, it's amazing. It's pretty much like, it's evolutionary compared to the other two, especially the second one, because the second one is shit. The second one was not good. People are like, oh, the second one is a lot better. It's like, no, the first one was pretty decent for what it was. For what it was, the first one was decent. The second one was just garbage. It's like, why? Why this?
Stand together.
Why this? Yeah, Thor Ragnarok was a funny movie. Like, I had problems with it. Like, Mark Ruffalo, he was good in it. It was just like he was underused. Like, he was really underused in that movie, but, you know, it was more Hulk. Like, here's the thing. It was more like it should have been the Hulk the whole time, and Bruce Banner didn't need to be in the movie. Just have him as the Hulk the whole time. Don't, like, he's fine in the movie. Just don't have him the whole time, because it's kind of like, oh wait, he's Bruce Banner, and that's it for like 7 minutes. And he acts really confused by his environments, despite him, like, you know, he can turn into the Hulk. Ow. Like, he can turn into the Hulk, but it's like, you know what, whatever. And it's, but besides that, not enough Jeff Goldblum. Like, he's in it, like a lot, but at the same time not enough. He's hilarious in that movie. And I told my friend, hey, what happens if it turned out he was Thanos? And it's like, huh, so he's Jeff Goldbluming his way into this crap. And so yeah, Jeff Goldblum in the Marvel movie. I'm glad. I'm very glad for that. Oh, come on, you could have at least let me kill him. I'm very glad for that. But her, like, I saw this with my friend and another group of friends who are her college friends, but, you know, I'm kind of chummy with them as well. But, yeah, I saw it with them. I also saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with them, and we ended up seeing things with them. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, like, super tight with them, but you know what? I have fun with them. Ouch. I have fun with them, and it's fine. Apparently, the next movie we're gonna see is Black Panther, which probably. I'll probably like it. Probably. But it has Martin Freeman in it. So, like, yeah, sure. When me and another friend went to see Captain America Civil War, and we saw Martin Freeman, and we were both laughing our asses off. Because, like, Martin Freeman's there, and he has an American accent. And we were both at the same time like, he's wearing a suit, but he looks so stereotypically British. But he has an American accent, so we have no idea how to feel about that. And we were laughing. That was the most time we laughed in the movie theater, but at the same time, when we saw Star Wars The Force Awakens in the previews, were either The Force Awakens or was it probably The Force Awakens, because we saw the Jungle Book trailer for the first time, and then it showed showed who was going to be in it, and one of the names was Christopher Walken, and both of us burst out laughing. Like, we couldn't stop. We laughed for 20 seconds. When we saw Christopher, we just couldn't stop laughing. And speaking of uncontrollable laughter, one time, like, this happened on Black Friday. So one time, me and my friend ended up, like, Friday, so I can get Christmas gifts to my parents, and it drained me. And then another friend came on. Like, at first it was me and my friend there. And then eventually it was like me, a friend, and me, her, and another friend of hers who eventually came along after work. And so after a very, very long day, I was feeling so drained because I've never been to the mall. I've been to the mall, like, in and out a lot of the time, but I've never been to the mall from when it opened to when it closed. So I was exhausted, so we ended up going to a coffee shop that was also in the mall, like a coffee place, to, like, rest up. And so, like, we ended up, like, being very exhausted. I almost fell asleep. And so we ordered hot chocolate and we sat down, and out of nowhere I just decided to say, sometimes I dream about cheese. And my friend burst out laughing, like, full tilt laughed, like she couldn't stop laughing, and because of that, I didn't think it was funny, but her laughing made me laugh. Like, sometimes I dream about cheese, and that just set her off. Like, we stop. I was so exhausted, I didn't care. I had to say something stupid. If I didn't say something stupid, I would lose my shit. How did I not see him? Yeah. So yeah, that's what happens when I'm too tired. Like, back to the introvert thing. Most of the time I prefer just to be home alone. Like, just stay home alone just to recharge my batteries. Like, I had plans to go out with my friend who pissed me off at the Batman vs Superman thing. I was supposed to go with her somewhere, but she has work, so I was like, okay, that's totally fine. And so, you know, I ended up, you know, staying home. Because that's fine. That's totally fine. So I can recharge my batteries. So I can recharge my batteries and, ouch. Oh, what do you know? An assist. Oh, I beat the game. Yeah, so I like it better when I'm just by myself and, you know, at home. Where I can just chill and just sleep and eat and go to the bathroom and not worry about, like, you know, diarrhea. You know, verbal diarrhea. Like I'm doing right now. Ah, crap. I'm just gonna back out slowly. Yeah, so... yeah, it's fine. Like, sometimes, like, you know, you don't always have to go out. And for the people who actually say, like judge you for not wanting to go out, don't listen to them, because you need your space. Like, people who care about you know that you need space. Just... it's like, oh, I'd love to go out, but I'm really tired. I just need to be by myself. And it's like, there are people there who are like, oh, come on, just go out with us. Come on. It's like, no, I love to, but I'd rather just be alone. I'd rather just go out, like, be by myself. Like, you get those people who just need to be alone. Like, just if there are people who are... here's the thing, and this is for people who are extroverts who just want introverts to be like out there, like more excitable. Just leave them alone. You know, they'll be fine. Like, they're fine just being alone. Like, the best thing about being an introvert is just, you know, letting them recharge their batteries. Like, they're best when they're left alone. Like, if you keep telling introverts to, like, forcing introverts to, like, go out all the time, you're not gonna get the best out of them. You're actually gonna get the worst out of them, and then you're gonna get angry that they're not like you. You know, eventually, like, other people understand that, like according introverts are activists, because straight away they know how to, they don't think, they actually know how to internalize their emotion, because they think about, oh, what the hell with this? Actually think about what they're gonna do. Like, yeah, introverts are really quiet, even talk about it, and they won't go on and on about it. You know? Sometimes you just need space. That's the best you know? I'm sorry if this is lagging. I don't know what's going on. Ooh, 3,000. Let's see how bad I got. Oh, 6th place, not bad. Yeah. So that's why, like, there's a Susan Cain TED Talk that's about and that's actually something I've read several times. I actually have one of her books, called Quiet. Oh man, I forgot the subtitle. Secret Lives of Introverts. No, it's not that. It's just called Quiet. My God, I forgot what it's called. I'm so sorry, Susan Cain. The Power of Introverts. Quiet, the Power of Introverts. And she read that. she wrote the book about that. Her name's Susan Cain, Quote Introverts, and she talks about how she's an introvert, and she knew one day she was at camp. She thought, you know, it would be like with her family, like they would be like a family of bookworms. They would be quiet and just go into their own space and read. And they have this chant. Oh, have this chant where they actually are like very loud and very teamworky and all that. And she pulled out a book and started reading. And one of her bunkmates is like, "Hey, why are you so mellow?" And she's like, "I don't know." And another person is like, same thing, and that's why she actually had the book away, because they kept asking her why she's so mellow. And it's like, it's mostly because like she'd rather just be by her. She actually, you know, ended up not liking it. It's just that it's oh man, the lag. What happened to the she just like didn't. She wasn't used to how like camp was. Like she's more like be by yourself and just like do your thing. That's what she thought. But then eventually it was more like participation and like forcing. Like, yeah, I get it. Participation is important. Sometimes you can't force participation, otherwise you're not gonna get the greatest result. Everybody is pretty much different. Just I don't talk a lot at work. I actually say less words at work. Oh, here's the words at work. Books. I've read books at work. In the span of 1 year, I've said like 50 words. Yeah, about 50 words. Give or take 50 words in the span of a year. 50 or 100, I'm not sure, but it's, again, I don't talk a lot. I'd rather just work, and I get a decent results out of work. It's like, just leave me alone. Like, everybody has their own group to talk to, whether it's in English or in another language. Everyone has their own group to talk to. I'd just rather just, you know, be alone by myself. Because if I'm rude, just give me my space and I'll be fine. By the way, you should totally check out Sarah Kane's Introvert book, and also The Secret Lives of Introverts. Oh my god. Because that book, those books are amazing. It tells me like there's nothing wrong. It says like there's nothing wrong with me. Like, that's it. Like, it tells me exactly who I am. And my god, I just needed that book. I want to read it again eventually. I will read it. I will read those books again right after I have to read the other 400 books I have in my room right now.
Charging in, cover me.
Ooh, I killed somebody. Wow, I killed somebody else. No, they're all dead. Don't worry. I killed them all. And I got killed. That's great. Well. But, yeah. Though, like, those books are pretty good. Like, don't underestimate, like, just because somebody's quiet doesn't mean, like, here's the thing, I used to be a loud, obnoxious kid. Like, with my friends, I'm still loud and obnoxious. But at work, like with family and like at work, I just keep my mouth shut, because with my family aren't that much of introverts. But I am, because I'd rather just like be alone, stay by myself. Like with my cousins, I'm fine. With some family, I'm fine. I'm pretty snarky at times, but you know what? I'm fine. But yeah, most of the time I'm just more quiet and would rather just, you know, like, observe.
Hit him hard.
Like, I'd rather just observe through people. Ooh, kill assist. Bam. You know, again, I just wanted to like fit in, so I decided, you know what, I'll just be like everybody else. Yeah, I'll just be like everyone else and just be loud and obnoxious, and I wasn't like that. And so I decided to change in grade 9 and just be a little bit more quiet. And that's how I was up until when I was in drama class, where I actually had like an outlet in terms of like where I can stuff my emotions. Like, you know, like on stage I'm fine because apparently I'm fearless on stage. Like to the point where I can't really remember some of the things I do on stage sometimes. It's like yeah. Yeah, I remember a lot of things. I remember having fun. I just don't remember much about, you know, like performing because I'm so like into what I'm doing. I'm like really into what I'm doing, so yeah.
We're not done yet.
And that's how come that's how I end up with like writing jokes like I'm usually alone at work, so I just think of jokes since everybody's like talking to each other and working, so I'm just like working and put in and that's pretty much how I'm gonna be fine with life and whatnot. So yeah, man, 6,000, 8,000? Didn't even put an eye. Wow, 13 eliminations, 10 deaths. Okay, I am kind of getting better, but yeah, I'm fine. Okay, so let's see. I'm almost at rank 11, and then when I'm at rank 11, I'm gonna like quit the game. Not quit this game, but I'm just go to the main menu and get my stuff. So like, it's totally fine. Like, if you're an introvert, I get. Like, I'm an introvert, like out loud right now. So I just wanted to think of things to say to distract me from how bad I'm playing. Well, was playing. Then I started talking. Again, I was a loud kid. A very loud, very angry kid. Then, you know, with the power of yoga, I just, you know, decided to like, you know, calm down a lot. And another book I read was called More Happy Than Not, which is about like, it's pretty much Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but for pretty much the LGBT community. Like, it's pretty much about a guy who has a girlfriend and he's actually really happy. But at the same time, there's some depressing stuff that happened. Like his father was found. He found his father in the bathtub with his and he committed suicide. Like his wrists were slit, and it's actually pretty horrifying. Like that's as much as he remembers. And so one day he finds this kindred spirit, and into the sky. And he likes him too. And so like along the lines there's this memory eraser that's that just not erases but more like takes away the memories of the worst things, like represses them, not totally erase but represses them. And it's actually a very interesting book. Very sad at times, but very interesting at the same time. Again, it's called More Happy Than Not. And yeah. Maybe one of these days I should just recommend like books. Like a book of the week I read. Because I do nothing but read at work. Like, unless they're door stoppers like It or The Stand or a Game of Thrones book. Which I still don't understand how I ended up getting them. Like, reading them. Because I read all those books in a row. Like, I'm not talking about, like, read one book, read a later book. No. I'm saying all in a row. Like, I've read all those books in a row. Like, in 2014, I read all of them in a row. And I didn't stop. Like, I wanted to read the books and then watch the show. I've only got through like 4 episodes and I'm like, you know what, I'm good. I don't know why, I just wanted to read the books, even though they range from 600 pages to 1,500 pages. I'm not sure how I did that. I know I didn't rush through any of it, mostly because, well, like, I was fine. I was fine. Somehow I ended up fine with those books. Like, those books are door stoppers. Like, like, holy crap. All those books are very, very big door stoppers. I don't know how I end up reading these door stoppers. And the reason they're... Here's the thing. Some people don't know what I'm talking about in terms of books. So I'm just gonna say the difference between a doorstop breather book, that's why I call, like, breather books, or books that are, like, short and lighter in tone. And door stoppers are books that range from, like, that are over 600 pages long. 550 page book, that's a door stopper. Like, anything over 550 pages is a door stopper. You know, and that's fine. 1,000-page book, I'm pretty sure pages is nothing. I'm out.
Swapping weapons, starting speed.
My god, I keep lagging. Making me lag. Like, it's... Oh, man.
What's the plan?
Like, I know, like... like, a lot of my life it was video games and books. And there's a reason for that, mostly because, like, video games, like, they were there always until were books, like, because of my parents. Like, my mom used to take me to, kids reading, like, somebody would read to you at the library with a group of kids. I was with a group of kids, and, somebody would read to you always, like, every morning. And, my mom used to take me every morning. That's what she told me, and I don't remember much about that because I was little. But they still do that. Obviously, they still do that. Ouch. And as for the video games thing, I remember one day, back when I was living in an apartment with back when we were living in an apartment, my dad, like, I came home from school and my dad was playing Super Nintendo, and then the downward spiral began. In books and video games. Like, yeah, in video games, I buy more books than video games. I borrow and buy books now.
For the pride of our battalion, fight to the end.
I've always been a book nerd and a video game nerd.
Charging.
Oh man, how did I miss? All right, because I'm not great at this game. But yeah, I just genuinely like reading a lot. Again, 200 after I'm supposed to roll was... I swear to God, I actually shot one off. I shot one off, that will... But yeah, you know what I mean. No, I don't. Mostly because it just lagged out on me. It's gonna lag. My God, why didn't I end up like shooting the guy like behind me? We lost. Oh well.
Scatter into the forest. Turn off your comms. Don't let them track you.
Damn lag. Limit. All right. Oh, 15 eliminations. 13 deaths. Wow, I'm in third. God, I'm just getting better just talking. Talking actually makes me... Talking about things makes me better. Yeah, that's something. That's something to actually say. I'm very glad. This is as much as I talk than I have been at work. Very terse talker. For 6 straight. I'm just gonna play because, you know, I won't put in a watch, so that's fine with me. I've been playing for almost 3 hours. How should I talk? My God. With my friend, I was supposed to work on a podcast with her. I was supposed to work on a TV show podcast with my friend, which was gonna talk about a TV show that we both we wanted to talk to. Like I wanted to talk about Saved by the Bell, and she wanted to talk about Inuyasha. And I actually watched the first season of Saved by the Bell. I took a lot of notes on it, and I've like watched 4 episodes before. It's like that thing just went away. We had things to do. We had live to get back on doing my videos, which as of right now, so 91 is totally forget. Our name. I don't know how to pronounce. Put my clearly not. There was the site Shirazid. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Like it was a website with me, and 4 other friends of ours. It was made in 2011. Yeah, it was made in 2011, and I still use it. They don't. And when I got back, when I used it for the first time in 2 years to do episode 51 of the music video show, my friend actually sent me a tweet saying, "Lol, I just got your recovery email." God. I got your recovery email, lol. That indicates how much, how long it's been since I actually used it.
Hit him close, go! Our people are dying. Gotta save them.
Oh. Well, that was bad. Yeah, but they haven't used it since months after, isn't it? I used it, then didn't for 2 years, and I used it again. Oh yeah. Man, maybe I should just restart. Oh my God, I just lagged and I missed. Being drama. Yeah. So again, episode 91 of the my show is up as of today. It doesn't have a lot of views, but you know what? I'm doing what I always what I needed to do. I just need to do. Oh my God. How did he flew? The guy flew. The guy flew away there. God, what's with the lag? I'm lagging like hell here. Yeah, so like I have one episode I shot today. Scripts which are almost like one script which is almost done. 100 is written like not at the but it's written now. Like it's gonna get there. I'll get there. I was supposed to be at the alone. What happened way should have been that time ago. Timer after this. God. Crap! That wasn't the lag awful. Yeah, okay, after this I'm just gonna go to a new. This is ridiculous now.
Going in.
Damn it! Oh my god, the lag just killed me!
We can do this.
Yeah, screw it. You know what? After this I'm just gonna go to another, this is ridiculous.
Going in. Full assault.
Okay, that one was my fault. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna stand here until we win, because we're winning right now. Ah.
Sweet.
Ow.
Horizon.
We can. Son of a bitch.
Go.
I was gonna kill him. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. Did he just suicide bomb? Pretty sure that was a suicide bomb. Or did somebody carpet dash? We won. And now I'm gonna go to another. Wow.
We shattered their main force. Press
Yay.
forward. Let's take prisoners.
Yay. And now to go to another, like, entry, because quite frankly, I actually, oh my god. Like, wow. Oh, 5 eliminations and 9 deaths. All because of lag. Damn you, lag. Damn you, lag. Damn you, lag. It just wouldn't. The lag just would not. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to another. I don't want to, but I want to, but I don't want to, but I want to. It's very confusing. Can't. One. So I'll just stay for now. Glutton for frickin' punishment. Ridiculous. Am I right? Okay. And I already... Actually, I have another autobiography. Scar Tissue Nikitas. I want to reread soon. Because I am a fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, the first song I ever heard by them, California. And, it just went on after that. Like, that was like grade 9 high school. I was really quiet back then. Still kind of am. Yeah, still quiet. And the book is pretty decent, even if it does showcase Anthony Kiedis as a bit of a dick. Do like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I have problem. Oh my god, like seriously, I should have at least like went area. Yeah, you know what, I will. Hold on, I'm just gonna go to another area because this is ridiculous right now. I'm actually just gonna reset some things. First album, and then Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and then Stadium Arcadium. They're decent albums. Like those are my standings in terms of like count. Then Blood. California, I bought the Prime. Like I was in the 10th grade. Well, it was nearing the 10th grade, and oh my god, words unlocked. Hold on, let me see what's here. Heavy Assault. Oh, I actually could buy something here. Let's see. Okay, fine. I got a new gun. That's fine. Acid launcher, level 9. All right. I'm almost out there. I'm almost there. I forgot where it is. Multiplayer, claim reward. 250 credits. That's amazing. Reward here. 250 credits. That's amazing. Uh, 200 credits. Nah, that's amazing. Yeah, I have a few things to like not build up and collect a reward. Anything else? Is that it? No, I'm fine. I'm just gonna get more things to like help me fight better. And so like Californication is my like the album I where was I? Yeah, it was is an album which is one of the few albums which I ended up like 10. It was the last day of school. I got my report card, and because of the MP3 I had, I already knew the what's it called, the songs. 3 are from the Red Hot Chili Peppers are mostly from Californication. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get like this album anyway, and the songs that I ended up hearing that I never heard are very great. Like, they're amazing. Like, that's why it's my favorite album by them, because like it's a fine ass album. Like, it brings the best of the Chili Peppers without watering them down. You know, before they ended up getting watered down. Acid launcher, marksman. We have an acid launcher. Improved accuracy. Let's see. Improved scan dart. No. Maybe I should just get the slug vanguard. No, wait, I don't have enough. Damn it! I don't have enough. No! I don't have enough. And so, like, what happened was, like, I ended up buying that album. How much did I pay for this? And I only have that much? That's all I have? Are you sure there's nothing else? Can I at least buy something? Because I have like 35,000. I have 30,000 here. Just let me at least, you know. So, like, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how, like, because I bought the perfect. Where was I? I bought the perfect time. It was the summer, and it was back when, like, I go to my friend's house. Like, I sneak out of the house and go to my friend's house when my mom was asleep and come back home before she got up. Just like wanted to like go to his house all the time just to hang out, play video game, and all that. And it was time. This was like his first house. and I was the I was very weird. I'm still very weird. What can I buy with this? Yeah, I'm still very weird, and all those memories of me going to his house in the summer actually brings back like memories, because you know, my God, I keep going over and over again. What can I buy? Like, give me something. I don't know what to buy with this. Like, there's nothing here I can buy. Assault, heavy, artillery. Is there anything I can buy with the amount of money I have? Because I have a bunch of money. Like, I have a bunch. Just let me see. Not Boba Fett. Ah, man. Alright, I might as well link from there. So, what happens is, like, that anytime I listen to that album, I get kind of transported back, back to that time of my life, like, in the summer after grade 10, where I just go to my friend's house and play video games and hang out. Like, that was one of my favorite summers ever, because the summer before, which was the summer after grade 9, I just locked myself in my room all day and like did nothing. And then I just decided, you know, I'll sneak out and just be with my friend. Sometimes him and his cousin. Like, that is a summer album in my opinion, and I really enjoy listening to that. It just brings back so many freaking wonderful memories of summers galore. Like, that album is just, it encapsulates a day in that summer. One perfect, like, it goes from like energy frantic world, and then it just like goes all over, like it goes like high energy, and then it goes mellower, then high energy, then it goes mellow, and then the last tripping, that's pretty much me at night just watching a movie on my mini DVD player, just mellow, just me alone in my room after a nice day. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. This was a good day. But you get those days like that, like, as much as, like, before my friend moved, because his parents had to, his dad actually had got a job somewhere away from where I actually take one bus to see him. I mean, after all that, I miss him. Like, I honestly miss that son of a bitch. Cause he was my brother. Like, I miss him, like, pretty much. And like, when you miss somebody that much, lose a loved one, and it's like, yeah, you know what, it's fine. Like, you got things like hang around forever. It's understandable. So yeah. But Californication, like, I barely listen to more because of other albums, but at the same time, I don't want that sheen to go away as many times as I. So yeah. Like, that is their best album. And in my opinion, like, the perfect time I bought it. That was one of the few albums I bought at the exact perfect time. Oh, and God, I miss him. We've been friends since 2005, and we watched the last 2 Star Wars movies together. Like, it all started with a nod. Elementary school, he was sitting at the table at the back. I nodded to him, he nodded back. And that was yeah. yeah, and in terms of books, we're both bookworms, but in terms of books, like I went to an elementary school from grade 8 where I went to the school library every day after school, and to the point where the library knew me. Like, he actually let me have a few books. Because I've been there pretty frequently. Like, I go to the library frequently enough. I mean, not frequently enough. Like, you know, going every day, almost every day, just to get a book, because I read a book in a day, you know? And yeah, to the point where I could sign out books to by myself. Like, I didn't need a teacher or anyone. I was like, hey, and then I looked through the book for my name, and then, bam, there it is. Scan. Bye. Yeah. So I was a bookworm way. At one point, somebody actually, one of my classmates actually looked at my, my computer. I get scanned, and he sees the number of ever 100. You bought 100. You borrowed 130 books of the year minus. That was pretty much, yeah. And wanted to, really wanted. Wasn't great. Some people threw up one class. I didn't want to be like books. It's pretty much. It's like you're trying to. It's like, yeah, but you know, like, you know. Like, yeah, what's wrong with this?
We're losing control.
Ow.
Get it together.
I wouldn't be losing if the lag wasn't so bad. Man, I gotta stop eating junk food. But yeah. Yeah, like I said before, just who you are. You need to make adjustments. And who knows, you could actually have a lot of money, like a few bucks, and then just, you know, flat out, like, doing things that you want. Just tell you what, unless it's dangerous. Oh, I killed somebody with gas. Huh. Well, that's a highlight of my day. Nobody's there. Who are you shooting at? Nobody's there. Who are you shooting at?
It looks like we may have the upper hand.
I think you should re-look at that scoreboard. Oh my.
By your side.
This is laggy. Oh, it just got worse all of a sudden. Maybe I should just keep talking. So I can't work games, which I'm a Star Wars game, damn it. I can't wait, you know? Like everybody else on the planet. Mostly everybody on the planet. Can't believe there was a time where I thought Star Wars was too nerdy despite me watching getting Harry Potter. You were such a hypocrite, Kareem. Awesome. You guys are nerds with your Star Wars. I'm gonna Potter and Lords.
We're starting to buckle.
I'm just gonna go. I do want to hide. Just the lag is pissing me.
Down.
Don't get too cocky, but our tactics are working.
I think not. We're pretty close. We're not works. Kill me like a couple of times. Nope. I just want. Okay. Hey, I lit gas. Those are words I've never actually said before, but whatever. I'll take it. The gas too. Oh, I messed up that joke. I'm so sorry. That joke was bad. What the? I actually started shoot. I shot and nothing happened. I was gonna shoot with my shotgun, but it just didn't happen for some reason. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get him. Oh, I'm gonna get him. What the hell happened? For the love of God. My aim is not. My aim's pretty bad. My aim is like what in Naked Gun 3. Leslie Nielsen and a random mook is actually like aiming right in front of each other, and they're both missing very badly. Joke, this is not it. This is a joke, cause you know. Ouch. Lag is killing me. No thanks to me, but the lag. I'm the lag. Oh, what's going on?
Not let the Order take this area without a fight.
Almost. Like I'm actually lying. But the lag killing me. Screwed right now. Who's screwed? Oh my God. This is very, very close.
Troopers, good work.
Super Troopers. Don't forget, they're supers in America. The face? See, 3,000 is still not bad. I'm just gonna... Eventually I'll get her. I've been playing 3 hours after all. I'm gonna feel like crap afterwards. I don't think I'm gonna be able, or today. Oh my, man, that sucked. Oh, what's this? You're back?
We can do this.
Can we? Can we do it without the lag? Because the lag is killing me. Ah!
Resistance troops are assaulting the base. Launch a counter.
Watch out, enemies! Look out, rebels!
Regroup.
Crap, I'm away. You are so lucky. Oh wait, I'm so lucky. Never mind. You are so lucky that I'm garbage in terms of aim. So very lucky.
We are reducing their numbers.
So I do make a pretty damn good stormtrooper. Can't aim for crap? Yeah, I'm making... Oh, cripes. Don't know where I'm going most of the time. I am... You can call me the Stormtrooper. Oh, God.
Okay, rapid execution. Shooting back. Uh-oh.
Wow. Yo, I never get any of those. No idea what just happened. I might have to stop soon because the lag is killing me. Is to restart the whole thing, and I am not doing that. Damage somebody. That's something. And let's see. Yeah, so can't wait for the new Star Wars movie. My goodness, I could have gotten so much more. So, yeah, I might as well talk about a couple of more things we're here for. Maybe. I don't know, my talking is not exactly my crap and playing is. You know? Because I play games for crap. I can't play games for crap. Like, alright, so I have had crushes over the years. I had crushes over fellow people I met on people who I think are cute, but are like honestly I'd rather not like, you know, say anything because they're like way little. Oh my god, I couldn't do anything. I can't really say anything because I'm gonna look very bad and look like very creepy. So it's like, yeah, like you're 20 and I'm so and so, but I can't like, ooh, I'm screwed. It's like, oh, you think he's cute or cute? It's like, oh, that means you're so. I don't think they're like. I don't think that like, well, you said they're cute, and it's like, oh god, I'm afraid. It's like, oh, gonna report me. I can't deal with that right now. So like, please. Yeah, that's my problem. That's why I can't have like crushes. Like, a friend introduced me to a website called Bumble. I not quite there yet in terms of internet things.
Lock and terminate.
In terms of the internet, I'm not quite there yet. I'm not against internet dating, I'm just not there yet. Well, I killed someone. That's fine. Yeah, but it's not there yet. Like, I checked it out. It's just not for me yet. Like, the only reason, like, it's mostly because I'm very, like, they probably wouldn't like me. And so I'm just gonna, like, you know, wait until I have enough money and then, you know, do something. God, I'm trying to, like, use a different gun. I tried to use a different gun, but nothing. Switching back.
Okay, take it.
What the hell happened? Wait, what? Well, I went down swinging. But yeah, I'm not quite there yet. Like, I understand, like, there are online dating success stories, but at the same time, you know, I don't. Okay, you know what? 2, never mind. I could do 2 at the same time. I'd like do anything. Because I can be weird, it's just that I don't want to hurt anyone, you know? I mean, eventually, if I do hitting anybody.
Do not allow the resistance anymore.
My god, the lag is so. You know what? In a couple of minutes, I'm gonna have to stop this. Mostly because it's not letting me do anything right now. It's not like letting do what I want. Well, I'm the sacrifice Aladium. That's yeah, so dating right now is like not on the table because nobody's gonna end up liking me. You. I've already killed some of your people anyway, so it's fine. The guy, some guy in front of me just fell.
Fall back. We cannot hold off the resistance attack.
Alright, how about this? 2 more games and I'm gonna stop because the lag is ridiculous. Ridiculous lag. Ridiculous. But at least you gotta rank up. And I'm in 4th. th eliminations, 14 deaths. I just realized I don't have any more Coke. Right. But I'll tell you something. School actually had a crush on this girl, like blonde, curly, strawberry hair, like freckles. She's a very cute girl, and I had a crush on her, and so did a lot of guys. And eventually, like, we were friends for like great, and I stopped seeing her. And I'm like, I didn't want to feel like a creep, but about, oh god, this is ridiculous. Okay, I kept thinking her everywhere, like outside of school, at the mall, everywhere, like everywhere I go. I was either afraid I would bump into her, like she was thinking I was stalking her, and whatnot, and it was yeah, it was not good for a while, and then eventually I found friends. I met my closest friend, another close friend of mine, you know, the one who pissed me off, going far away from the theater for Batman vs Superman. I met her, a very close friend. I don't know how we got ready for like her. It was her, like, honestly, it meant ready for a relationship. At the same, she was so we should grow as a. But the thing was, our friend eventually kindred might go to sushi. I crushed from then, thanks to my friend, thanks to her, actually strategized fresh. You didn't talk for a little while. And one day, in the morning, like I didn't. That's a day she actually came and nothing. It was good to see. And he saw her after that, and I'm like, I didn't because I got closure. That was closure, everybody. That's how I get closure. And I never actually thinking about her. Went back to like the friends I like who were there for me for years. And like it was wonderful. Like I never had to think about her again. Until like, well, I thought I saw her at the mall like a couple of months ago, and I was actually gonna tell my friend that I saw her, and then I got distracted by the pocket. We ended up buying. Well, I ended up buying, and it was I kind of forgot about her. Then I saw her at the mall. Like, oh yeah, I was gonna say something, but then Pocky, all of it. Which reminds me of a funny story, which I probably will tell because I'm running out of time here. You know what, screw it, I'll just tell it anyway. So, the friend who moved away, at the mall, as usual, like this is the first time he was with all three of us, the both of us at the mall. And so, at the mall buying Pocket, we usually buy a whole pack of it. And when we were buying the whole pack of it, my friend is like, what the hell are you guys doing? And we were half concerned and half like jokingly like, are you alright? And it's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, you're gonna buy it. And we're like, yeah. Because as batshit as we are, we actually don't really think about how much we actually buy. We're like, yeah, we'll buy this much. We'll buy a whole pack of them. Well, no, not a whole pack, but a whole box filled. Like, sometimes they come in boxes of whatever. Like, boxes that, like, 10 in one box. 10 mini boxes in one box. And he's like, are you gonna get all those? I'm like, yeah, we usually do. And we were just laughing, because we were like... It's like... And, our friend is like, wait, what about the kids? And it's like, F the kids! They're like, F the kids, man. And it was like, I said it out loud, like, oh my god. That's actually, apparently that's one of the funniest moments ever. Like, F the kids. And I just, at one point, I actually did kind of want a kid to, like, look at me. Oh my god! I came out...
Rebel, where are you going?
Well, Just dropped out of nowhere from a high point. Clearly, I should probably like quit the game. He's like, F the kids. I just want a kid to actually come up, like when I, and then I give him the finger, or them the finger. That'll be quite funny. That will be hilarious. I mean, it will be cruel, but you know me. I don't care about the kids. I mean, I care about the kids, have kids. Because I'm an irresponsible ass. I'm very irresponsible. Oh, I could actually do more than... Ouch. That sucked. Yeah, so, very funny. Very funny move. Oh, look at that, I'm damaging. That's a lot of damage. 33 damage, but you know what? That's something. That's something, right? Even though, like, the lag... Yeah, so... I got decent close the last time I saw my crush. So, yeah. Like, it's good that I never saw her after that, because, you know, I'm just glad that I just am grateful for the friends I have now. No?
We'll stick together.
And hey, if she'd only like me as a friend, I completely understand that now. Mostly because I've changed. No, sexually preferring both. But there is a cute guy. There's a cute guy, man. He's very, very cute. Like, long hair. He has that gothic look. I just like, oh my god, I just want him, like, I just want to hold him near my arms and just, like, you know, that's it. That's all I have to say.
We lost this round. I underestimated.
Alright, that's the last game I'm gonna play. The lag is just killing me. So, I'm just gonna check a few things out, and then I'm going to go off from here. And just, you know, big white one. Racist. No, I'm kidding. 5 eliminations out of 15. That's something. I quit. Like, but yeah, that cute goth guy, very cute. And by the way, I'm in my 20s and I have yet to have my first kiss. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, so the guy I like is very cute, and but he probably my friend, so I'm okay. Well, you know, what I can get here. Rewards unlocked, huh? Let's see. Let's see what I can get. Something got a fighter? No, thank you. Reward unlock clot. Oh wait, nothing? What can I buy with the credits I have? I have a lot of credits. What the hell can I buy? Let's see. And then I'll stop for today and then come back tomorrow. because I'm not gonna eat any junk. Be here probably in the morning. Probably. It's just that, you know, I have to edit some shit. And then I'll come back here. You know? I don't know what to buy with the 30,000 credits I have. Let's see. Nope. Not here. You know, this is probably not a good time to, Trooper. Let's see, star cards. 2,000. Nah, whatever. Let's see what I can get. This is get you if you wanted. You could this all along. Crafting parts. Ah, what do you know? Crafting the courtesy. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Darth. Still 75, huh? Super crate. Let's see. I'm just gonna keep doing this for a little while, and then I'll stop because I have a bunch. Let's see what I got here. Reveal all. Oh, 100. Yeah, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna do a couple of things here, and let's see. If you want, you could actually like get out of this. Like you could I mean, you could stop. You know, stop listening to me and just log out of here. You know, all of your abilities. Let's see what I got. Level 10. Let's see what I got. Kill streak. You defeat an enemy. Yeah, why not? Level 10. Yeah. I'm at level 10 now. Hell yeah. And bodyguard. Yeah, screw it. And I've unlocked slot 3. Hold on. Unequip, select, let's see, yeah, sure, why not? It's like, yeah, whatever. How do I get this out of, marksman, launcher? I'll figure it out. I'm at assault level 11. I'm totally good. So you know what? Thank you all for seeing me play rather better compared to the last time I played. So I'll see you in the morning. Thank you for watching and good night.